At the beginning of the trailer, we see Vanny's mask slowly coming towards the camera while hearing, "When I first found you, you were nothing. You were small, pathetic, but now you are more. Are you ready?" This is most likely William Afton speaking to Vanny, the first time we ever hear him talk in the entire series. The mask gets closer and we eventually go through the hole in her eye. That's when the trailer cuts to Vanny with glowing red eyes skipping down a red hall, with the line captured on PS5, mix of gameplay and cinematics shown at the bottom of the screen, indicating this is probably the start of gameplay. This goes by quickly, and the next thing we know, we're in an elevator, with the female security guard from promo pictures and the Funko statue up against glass, almost begging us not to go down, but it's too late since the elevator is already in motion. We then see a shot of the laser tag arena while hearing the sounds of fake lasers from laser tag guns, confirming our earlier analysis of this area. The trailer then shows us a blacklight version of the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzaplex logo shining against a wall, with Vanny's shadow skipping in front of it. Then creepy music starts playing as text that reads, "When fear takes hold and reality fails, the stage is set and insanity prevails," appears on screen. Each line glitching into the screen after showing us an animatronic from this main lineup, having red eyes as the light fades. They do this for each animatronic with the exception of Freddy, indicating to us that Freddy will be our only ally, even if he does have red eyes when it shows all four of them together. Maybe this means that he will betray us at some point during the story of the game. After this, we hear a female voice say, "Gregory, we can get you out of here. You and me, together." I can tell that these lines are spliced together, since there is a slight differential in the tone between the two lines, and there appears to be just a little bit of word that is heard just before she says, "you and me." This is even more apparent at quarter speed. I noticed this because while I do host videos, I also edit them, and this is common when needing to splice lines or cut something out, especially if the actor doesn't pause between lines. This is played over Gregory in the security room staring at the cameras at the Pizzaplex. They're all off, indicating that someone has sabotaged them. We then get a quick view of Monty's mini golf course, indicating that maybe each animatronic gets their own area where we will need to face them. This probably leaves the laser tag to Freddy, or Montgomery has two locations. Next, we're hiding behind a curtain in the main area of the Pizzaplex as the security guard from earlier walks by. But if she's a security guard, why would we be hiding from her? Unless it's because, like the Funko figure indicated, Vanny is the security guard, since that Funko statue had Vanny behind the security guard shushing us, telling us to be quiet since we shouldn't reveal her secret. We are then running through some sort of maintenance tunnel, appearing to be underground, or perhaps a line area for a ride like we see at Disney World or Canada's Wonderland. The screen goes black and we see some sort of jungle gym, probably also meant to make us feel small and helpless, since the structure is big and at least 2 layers tall. This is also why you're small and help wanted by default. When I play, if I increase my size so I don't get sick, I'm also less scared since the animatronics don't tower over me. This could be either Chica or Roxanne's area, since this doesn't fit with either a mini golf course or a laser tag arena. We then walk through an area showcasing each of the animatronics individually, with Chica, Freddy, Montgomery, and Roxanne all getting their own alcove, but with Roxanne as the only one without a sign above their room. We then go down a spiral slide from our childhoods as we hear a woman say, "We have to get you out by morning." Then we fall into a ball pit and make our way out of it. We then see the big jungle gym area from earlier and Chica's face, confirming that this will take place in Chica's area, which ironically is full of fun, bright colors despite this being a horror game full of despair. We then are backing away from Chica in the kitchen as the line, "You will do as I say, you will bring me what I want, and if you fail me, then both of you will burn," is heard. This is most likely William Afton again, unless there is another antagonist we have yet to be introduced to, and he's probably referring to some sort of item that can get him out of the suspended animation that he is currently in with the whole glitch trap thing and being code. As this is being said, we see some form of neon light jungle. Maybe it's an entrance to the mini golf since we see the silhouette of Montgomery Gator walk inside, which is noticeable at normal speed, but it's much easier to see at quarter speed. It then cuts to Chica's area, where we're walking under a bridge while that voice is saying, "You will bring me what I want," hinting at the idea that the item could be inside Chica's jungle gym, or that we will be looking all around the Pizzaplex for it, either to deliver it or prevent him from getting it first. We then cut back to the area with a showcase of animatronics. Further down though, past Montgomery's alcove, where we turn to see Roxanne Wolf running at us full steam. Then it cuts to a hole or some decorations outside of the mini golf area where we look to our watch and see the good old security cameras on the inside, making sure Montgomery Gator isn't in our way. We get a load of information about gameplay in this shot. Since we can also see on this watch that we can check the Pizzaplex map, we have an inventory, and whatever logs means. It could be like the tapes from the previous game. We can also see how much battery we have left in our flashlight, and what percent of power the Freddy animatronic is at, and our 2 tickets that we'll probably collect all over the map. These will most likely give us a secret or additional ending knowing Scott, or they could also be similar to the tapes from the last game. Then we see the security breach rounded logo triangle surrounding the number 8. This could be a game mechanic, maybe times that we distract animatronics, or maybe it's something that we need to collect. Perhaps the thing that the voice was saying that we need to bring him. It's kind of unclear. Then we're back to Chica's playpen, which is what I'm gonna call it because, you know, she's a chicken pen. But we're walking on the bridge we passed under just moments ago, and the Moon Man animatronic from the kitchen in the first trailer is dancing on the other side. We then see Montgomery break open a fence gate, us running down a hall, Roxanne being trapped behind a fence gate, revealing that perhaps the different animatronics will have different abilities or stats. Then it cuts to Chica running at us, but then boxes fall over, stopping her from running for a moment, showing us the game mechanic of being able to trip or stumble animatronics by pulling things over and creating obstacles like what people do in chase scenes during movies or TV, so that could potentially be helpful. No, that's going to be helpful. Then in a blink and you'll miss it scene, we see Vanny running at us in a dimly red-lit hallway with an image of potentially a skull reflected in the ceiling from the light. This sequence is just 31 frames long, which is just over 1 second, if the trailer is using the normal 24 frames per second that most videos, including this one, tend to use. After that, we see the reveal of a new animatronic, the Sun Man, I'm gonna call him, who jumps for joy at the concept of a new FNAF game. Not really, but he is jumping. But he also has the same moon that we see on the Moon Man animatronic's face. This could mean that they're connected, but the more likely scenario is that the animatronic has 2 modes, a daytime and a nighttime mode, and a different face and color scheme is used for these variations, showing us the sun and yellow colors during the day, but switching to showcasing the moon and darker blues and blacks for the night mode. Since we've only seen the Moon Man when the lights are off and the Pizzaplex is closed, opposite with the sun, we only see him during the day. Then we finally see Roxanne's area of the Pizzaplex, a racetrack probably for go-karts. When I was growing up, there was a place that we used to go to, bowling, called Neb's Fun World. This place was great. It was where we all wanted to go all the time, and where I would have hung out with my friends most of the time if I had any that didn't live on the other side of the city. However, they also had these same kinds of areas, a play center for kids, bouncy castles, go-karts, bumper cars, an arcade. It's also where I took my current girlfriend out on our first date. So I'm getting those kind of vibes from this area and this location in general, and I'm not mad about it. Helps me relate. Helps me want to play it. Because, you know, it's horror, and we all know how I am with horror. Cut back to night where we see the Moon Man going down a slide in Chica's playpen, crawling and looking directly at us while he gets out, showing us that he is in fact chasing us. Then we cut to a staff-only sign, very dimly lit, but then we see an all too familiar face as Vanny pokes out from behind it, eyes glowing red as per usual. The red eyes probably indicates a link with the animatronics, since we saw them each with the exception of Freddy with a focus on red eyes early on in the trailer. The screen then flashes red as the security breach logo twists onto screen. And finally, the worst part of the trailer for me, as Vanny says, there is more going on here than you realize, we cut to the floor of a back room where a purple, metallic arm reaches out from behind some sort of metal box, clinking, clanging, and crawling to get out. And this was my genuine reaction to this moment when I watched it for the first time. Ready? No! 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 You've gotta be kidding me! Afton's back? Seriously? No! Why won't this die? Yeah, I really want Afton to finally be dead, but then the screen cuts to black and the text 2021 appears on screen because, you know, it's releasing this year. That's the shot-by-shot breakdown of the trailer. Now to go over the things I noticed in 0.25x speed, or quarter speed. A detail I noticed at lower speed is that each of the glitches before the text fully appears had a texture, and I was able to see the full image in one frame of "And Insanity Prevails." The image that glitches were revealing was in fact Vanny's suit. Mask, ears, arms, and slight torso are all in full view. This same image is used for the glitch of "And Reality Fails," just without the glowing eyes of the animatronic. I also noticed that the giant Montgomery at the mini golf course is actually an animatronic, moving his fingers and and slightly turning as the camera gets closer. As we are running through the tunnel or cave in the maintenance area, there are two white dots to the left of the screen, very reminiscent of the iconic golden Freddy eyes that we all know and fear. It's unlikely that this is a reflection of a metallic surface since there is hardly any light in this area. I also see a shadow looking similar to how Shadow Bonnie did in FNAF 2 when we see Chica's solo alcove. This does appear to just be things stacked on each other and not lit, but we know Scott. This could be an homage to Bonnie, who we have yet to see appear in this game, and who probably will be absent this go around. At quarter speed, I also see that Roxanne is missing from her alcove when we see her running at us. This is probably where the animatronics go at night, almost like they're home when they aren't working, which is honestly how these things start, okay? If you treat them like they are sentient, they will become sentient. It's just a bad idea. You should know this by now. Jeez, how many times have animatronics killed kids? You should learn by now, treat them like robots. And during the final moments of the trailer at 2021, there is another glitch that has a different picture of Vanny. I'm taking this as Vanny, not Springtrap or William, because the suit isn't burnt to a crisp. And as we just saw, he is metal at this point, if that. In fact, it's the same image that shows up earlier in the trailer when it says, "When fear takes hold and the stage is set." Also, a couple notes I figured I should include just in case. Scott's website has not changed. The source code on FNAFworld.com and ScottGames.com are the same as they were before, with the image on Scott Games being the same as it has been for around a year or so. You know, the one with Vanny with Obey. There is also no hidden text in dark spaces. Every time I saw darkness, I screenshotted and put the image in Photoshop to look for clues. This only worked for revealing better images of Vanny in the glitch areas. No hidden text, messages, or game reviews were found in this trailer, at least by me. Starting off this breakdown, before even 1 second into the video, we get a flash of purple, which at this point can only be a reference to the purple guy because, come on, it's FNAF. Of course it's the purple guy. You don't just like drop something like this out of nowhere as a joke, okay? It has to have some significance. Ignore the color of my shirt. Then we move on to a title card of Freddy and Friends on Tour with Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy in a van on their way to presumably camp based on their equipment. The whole video kind of plays like a Scooby-Doo episode too, with similar music and animation to early What's New Scooby-Doo episodes, and just like an all-around together Scooby-Doo vibe. Cut to Chica, Freddy, and Bonnie in a forest looking around scared for some reason, which is weird because no other character has been introduced. This is where it gets interesting, since after coming out from behind the tree and walking for a second, we see the screen glitch. Yet when paused, it's awfully disturbing. It happens 22 seconds in, and if I'm not mistaken, that appears to look a lot like how the Stitch Wraith was described in the Fazbear Frights epilogues. Glowing white eyes, strange teeth, and no other facial features. This frame is also accompanied by the phrase Allo's 6 groups, or possibly Alone Z 6 groups. Not sure which one, not sure what significance it has, I looked it up. There's nothing. Literally nothing. The gang then runs into Foxy, whom Freddy asks if he wants to join their band, and Foxy shows his hook, which scares them off. This proves to me that Foxy was not the one that they were originally hiding from, since if he was the one that they were hiding from, why would Freddy ask if he wanted to join the band? Then the group begins to run from Foxy, and in the backgrounds of both this running scene and the past walking scene, you can see Vanny's white bunny ears poke out from behind a tree in the distance. There's then yet another Scooby-Doo moment where the gang is chased between some trees, and I mean like Scooby-Doo moment because it's straight up ripped out of a Scooby-Doo episode. Like anything that's referencing Scooby-Doo does this. The Scooby Natural episode, literally every other Scooby-Doo episode, they run between some doors in a hallway and you gotta like it's that. But Bonnie seems to be very chill about this whole situation, even when hiding in a plant that's growing on a stump, which to me I feel like is a reference to Twisted Animatronics because he's coming out of the ground, but that might be me reading too much into this. After this, they catch Foxy and take off his mask, which obviously reveals an animatronic head. Freddy and Chica are both shocked by this, but Bonnie just seems to have accepted it. Like, yeah, of course he's a robot, you idiots, so are we. The trio then sings a song that gets abruptly cut off by static as if it was turned off. What looks to be sewer pipes run along the screen, which I'm guessing is the pipes in the basement section of the Security Breach Pizzaplex, and then that gets replaced by the Security Breach logo with various numbers glitching below it. presumably because we're going to be getting a release date soon. But let's go into the various numbers and see if maybe we can get a little bit more precise. The first one is mostly glitchy, but appears to read 22/10/22, which would be the 22nd of October 2022, but that seems a little far off for this game, so I'm sure that we can guess that this game isn't going to be getting delayed again. I hope. The first real number that we can see though reads 775321, and in hexadecimal code, that's kinda brown, like Freddy's colored brown. The one after that is 177532, which is a dark green. After that, 617753, a desaturated dark green. 866775, a desaturated purple or pink. 861775, saturated magenta. 886177, a desaturated pink. 388617, dark green. 438661, a dark cyan. 764398, a deep purple. 166438, a very dark cyan. Then we have 176438, 217647, all of which are either very similar to that dark cyan or literally the same shade, and my eyes can't detect it. Alright, then we have 421764, which is a dark purple, 042276, which is a dark blue, 404217, and then a whole bunch more, okay? But the most important one, at exactly 1 minute and 40 seconds into the video, is 694420. I'm not even kidding. It's amazing. FNAF put a 69-420 joke. Thank you, Steelwool Studios. We were on the verge of greatness and we achieved it. But anyway, like I was explaining, at first I thought these were hexadecimal codes, but they weren't. So yeah, but when converting it to hexadecimal, at least 3 numbers caught my eye. 764398, 861175, and 421764, all of which are some form of purple in hexadecimal, and some are nearly identical to that of the actual purple guide color. These are not dates though, since anything ending with a 21 had numbers over 30, or at least like 12. You know, it wasn't a date because it had like 70 or it had like 16 in the second one, so it just didn't work, okay? So I'm not quite sure what it can mean. Maybe the suggestion of purple is meant to help us find the date somehow. I don't know, I'm just spitballing. It could be something to look into. Y'all want something to do anyway, go, this is your homework. School started. It's your homework, go do it. First shot is a black screen with a woman, presumably Vanny, saying Gregory, but lingering on the Y, similar to the first trailer's glitchy/echoey speech.
Gregory.
We then have a shot of the entranceway with the golden glamrock Freddy statue while happy music plays. Probably the music that plays throughout the Pizzaplex's common areas like the showroom and food court. We then fade to black with a woman saying it's getting late.
It's getting late.
Which is what my parents told me when I was on the 4th round of Taco Bell at my hometown's mall food court. Speaking of food court, we then have a shot of the food court's Mexican restaurant next, with a statue of El Chip from FNAF 6 on the right, some cacti decorating the place, some air hockey tables in the back, and presumably some other arcade games. This is probably next to the Fazcade so kids can play while their parents finish eating. We see soda machines with the name Fizz's Fizzy Station on them, along with some cactus with sombrero neon signs. Notice the amount of purple used outside of the Mexican theme here. We then get just a few frames of an animatronic server with a sombrero's face, looking remarkably similar to the puppet in my opinion on the left of the screen. This animatronic doesn't move. We then continue forward as another animatronic moves past us en route to serve a table or to clean it since there's nobody there. However, they are holding a tray of food from the looks of it. They seem to look like a skeleton and similar to the other animatronic, making me think that perhaps these are Dia de los Muertos themed. As they pass us, we see an arcade game having something to do with El Chip to the bottom left of the screen. We also see some sort of machine, probably an ATM, with the phrase ready, set, go on the side as the serving animatronic passes. The screen then fades to black and the same woman says, "Let's get you home," in the same echoey/glitchy tone.
Let's get you home.
Fading back, we see another section of the food court with an ice cream bar to the left, with animatronic cashiers that look at us as we walk up to them, which is really creepy, especially because they don't even try to hide the fact that these are animatronics. Like, they have gray faces with no facial features other than black spots for eyes and lines for mouths. It's terrifying. We also see advertisements playing on screens in the background, going from saying pizza to pizza, 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 repeating down the screen and then back, with another screen with the pizza being tossed back and forth saying tasty to go, meaning this is probably a quick grab and go pizza stand. The screen then fades to black again with the line "and put you to bed" said by that same woman. It basically has to be Vanny at this point.
And and put you to bed.
We are then shown another underground section of the map, with directional arrows pointing to L, which is on the right hand side, and the other circle pointing to a pizza slice. I had to screenshot this and then make the image black and white in order to see this perfectly clearly. When you get closer it's kind of easier, but still. And then there is a blinking red light coming from that direction, indicating that there is a problem in the dining area. I'm not sure what L could mean, it could just mean the left wing of the pizzaplex though. The screen then fades to black again and Vanny says, "I see you."
I see you.
We are finally shown another interior view of the Pizzaplex's back rooms, where we see an office with a Chica's rocket poster and a whiteboard with indiscernible writing and a pie graph. I really tried enhancing the image, but all I could really get at the beginning was pale, and I don't think that's right. I did some further analysis with some coworkers, and we think it says dark new enemies. Okay, future me popping in here to say that after I was editing this video, I realized that it definitely doesn't say dark new enemies. It probably most likely says, "Dave, no earrings." Because 3 out of the 4 animatronics have earrings and they probably don't like it. That's it, really. I thought it was something interesting, but it's just them telling Dave that he should either not wear earrings while working, or that they don't like the earrings on the animatronics. Yeah, it's not as exciting as I thought it was gonna be. There you go! There was also a poster in there for what seems like a brand of ketchup. This was in 4K and I still couldn't see it, so don't blame me, even with my glasses on. We also walked past the tank with the Freddy Fazbear Pizzaplex logo on it, and some form of board with blue and green lights, very reminiscent of the security cameras from the first games. The screens then fade to black with Vanny laughing at us. That's when the logo appears on screen with the NVIDIA GeForce RTX logo right beside it, which is actually just the subscription button for their end screen, so it's not really on the screen. Then it finishes with a promo for how Security Breach will allow ray tracing and DLSS. At the beginning of the episode, we once again get a flash of purple within the first second, and this was my first clue that things are probably going to be going in the same direction as the last episode. It's fairly clear that the episode is the same thing, just with different backgrounds and environments. For example, this episode sees Freddy and friends in a building located in the forest instead of just the forest. The exterior of this building also seems to remind me of Fredbear's Family Diner, which I don't think was intentional, but it was interesting to point out nonetheless. Instead of popping up from behind a tree this time, we see the gang pop out from behind a door with a star on it. Not sure if it's supposed to be a changing room or a nod to the glam rock animatronics. But playing them side by side, the two scenes are basically identical. They again look scared, but for unknown reasons. We then cut to the first walking scene, where the Stitch Wraith had made an appearance last time in the form of a glitch. However, there's no glitch this go around, just them walking in front of some doors with stars on it. Many doors, mind you. But nothing too out of the ordinary as far as I could tell, aside from the number of doors. We then see Foxy, who's chillin' like he was when Freddy asked him to join the gang last time. Obviously, he didn't join the gang if these are meant to be like a sequence of events, and that's where these episodes finally differ aside from location. Because instead of Freddy asking Foxy if he wanted to join their crew, Chica is the one talking. And for some reason, despite being like a backup singer, she can't actually talk. She just balks. Like the captions actually say balk, balk, balk. Like what the hell? Foxy then shows his hook like last time and Chica flips out like Freddy did, and then they proceed on with the Scooby-Doo style chase, being even more Scooby-Doo now because they're running through doors. Cut to Foxy being confused as to why they ran and then chasing them anyway. I point out that he looks confused because that's going to be important later. And based on this scene, I think I know where the next episode is going. I think we have probably 2 more episodes before we actually get a Security Breach release date. I pointed out last time that Bonnie seems awfully chill about this, and he remains as such this episode. So I believe that next episode we will have Bonnie asking Foxy if he wants to join, because Chica and Freddy are too scared. Then when he raises his hook, Bonnie isn't going to run away because he isn't scared. So Foxy will actually end up joining them, and will be introduced to the animated version of either Vanny or Purple Guy, but probably Vanny because it's Security Breach, who Foxy will end up talking to in the next episode before she probably wipes them all out. Now, going back to actually actually episode 2. At 44 seconds, we get another glitch, similar to the Stitch Wraith one from the last episode. However, this time it happens over the chase through the doors scene, and it appears to be Montgomery Gator instead of the Stitch Wraith. Now, in interest of full disclosure, this could also be Happy Frog from the mediocre melodies introduced in FNAF 6, but considering how this is a teaser for Security Breach, I think it's safe to say that this is Monty. However, this also makes me think about why they included the Stitch Wraith last time if this is supposed to be Security Breach trailers and related to that game. And perhaps maybe everyone was actually right about the arm. That it is the Stitch Wraith's arm, however, it's possessed by William Afton. Cut to Bonnie then hiding in the potted plant that was at the end of the hallway during the chase scene, exactly like how he was hiding in the tree stump last episode. Now, this may be me looking too much into things, okay? I know that. However, I noticed that the markings on the wall behind Bonnie in the scene look to be 1s and 0s. So I took the 11010 that I could see and looked it up what it would be translated from binary. And 11010 is actually 2. So I don't know if this animator was throwing in a reference to the episode number or if it's just me trying to find more things to talk about. Probably the latter, if I'm being totally honest. I don't even know if that was the actual right number. I think I missed a 0. I think it might have been 110010, but nonetheless, well, it is what it is. The gang then unmasks Foxy and learns that they're all robots again, which shocks Freddy and Chica but not Bonnie like the last time. However, my question now is why are they shocked? Like, assuming this is a linear timeline of events, which it seems to be since now they're in a house in the woods instead of just the woods. They unmasked him last episode, so why are they all shocked to find out that he's a robot again? Like, what? It makes no sense. Like, you know this man is a robot. You did this literally last week or even earlier if this is like a day-by-day thing. Like, what the heck? Cut to the group performing in the pizzeria for a passed-out rabbit that looks a hell of a lot like Bonnie and a pink chicken that looks like it could be another version of Chica. Maybe Funtime Chica, maybe a dyed glam rock Chica, I don't know. The song goes, quote, "We're hopping into the jalopy, gonna go for a ride. To the pizza shop with our friends. We're jumping and a rockin' till the sun goes down and the moon is shining forever and ever." Cut to the screen going static and the last couplet taking on a whole new meaning as we see the Sun animatronic from the later Security Breach trailer standing in front of the static, who then transitions into the Moondrop animatronic, confirming one of my earliest theories on these games. Something that I'm sure a lot of people thought of, but I came up with it myself. Like, I didn't look anything up for those Security Breach videos, so like I had come up with that like on my own at that point. So it's nice to have a theory of mine confirmed. See? I know what I'm talking about. We then get the Security Breach logo, which has a very similar animation to how the FNAF 4 logo was revealed in the trailer for FNAF 4, which I didn't actually notice the last time, but that makes me think that maybe there's a stronger connection here. Maybe Gregory and the Crying Child are supposed to be the same person, or I guess representations of each other. However, this time around we get different numbers across the bottom. Last time I went through them so that you could see, last time I went through them to see if there was like any significance, but why the hell would I do that again? Because I love to torture myself. So we start off with 677566, and now I'm just gonna read off the numbers I see because Jesus Christ, there's a lot again. 367756, 536775, 533775, 475443, 224754, 222754, 571321, and then a whole lot more, none of which actually appear to be dates or anything close to it, and looking up hexadecimal codes last time didn't really do anything, so I don't see a point in repeating the same process, because no thank you.